Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our reading comprehension lesson. I hope you've had a relaxing and enjoyable weekend. The ally for this lesson will be to use factual retrieval skills. As normal, you will need a pencil or a pen and a paper. Take control of the pause button when you need to. We will start our lesson with a quiz as normal. For the answers, you can write the numbers rather than trying to write the whole word. So the first one is, which of the following would help the reader to describe a character? You need to select two of these. Inverted commas, expanded noun phrases, question mark, adjectives. So choose two of those and they will be numbers. Maybe 1 and 2, 1 and 4. You need to decide. Number 2, you need to select 3 answers. So you'll need to write down 3 numbers. When writing a character description, you would usually 1. Describe the character's appearance. 2. Describe the setting in detail. 3. Describe the character's personality. 4. Describe the character's background or past. So you need to write down 4 numbers for number 2. Number 3, apostrophes are used for contractions to show possession. Which is most commonly used in a character description? Number 1, an apostrophe for a contraction, like the word can't. Or number 2, an apostrophe for possession. Miss Cleeseby's lesson. Choose 1 or 2. Number 4, similes are often used in character descriptions to compare. Choose 2 words below that can be used when writing a simile. So you need to select 2 of these. Number 1, when. Number 2, how. Number 3, like. Number 4, for. And number 5, as. So which 2 words below can be used when writing a simile? And our final one, fronted adverbial phrases are often used in character descriptions. Recalling learning from a previous lesson, which punctuation mark normally follows the fronted adverbial phrase? Choose 1. Is it number 1, full stop, number 2, exclamation mark, number 3, comma, or number 4, question mark? I'll give you time to write your number. So we are going to mark the quiz for character description now. So get ready to mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the first question, which of the following would help the writer to describe a character? It'd be number 2, expanded noun phrases, number 4, adjectives. Number 2, when writing a character description, you would usually, and you needed to select 3 of these. So definitely number 1, describe the character's appearance. Number 3, describe the character's personality. And number 4, describe the character's background or past. Question 3, apostrophes are used for contractions. The one you should have chosen is number 2, an apostrophe for possession. Number 4, similes. If we write a simile, you need to select number 3, like, and number 5, as. So 3 and 5 are the correct numbers to select. And the last one, a fronted adverbial, you would use number 3, comma. So how did you do? Did you get 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5? All of these things here, actually all of these we've done in the past. So they are just a recap, or we're reviewing things that you've already done. And they remain to be very, very important. Let me explain. Last week, or the last 2 weeks, we've really been developing your understanding of poetic techniques or devices. Rhythm, onomatopoeia, similes, metaphors, alliteration, and repetition will remain important regardless of whether it's poetry or just reading stories. These are all still very, very important skills to maintain and to use as you read. Rhythm, tone, and pace are also aspects that everyone needs to have. I'm sure you remember from Friday's lesson with the guys singing the expression song. Well, all of those things remain to be very, very, very important. Okay, so what is this lesson going to be about? So you will write a character description, that's at the end of this topic, based on your very own superhero. And we'll find out about the superhero in a moment. They will be a friendly, adventurous superhero who will embark on a once-in-a-lifetime mission. What will their superpowers be? Who will they help? Will they defeat their evil nemesis? But first, we need to look at text to investigate what it means to be successful. So, what does a character description look like? What are the key features of a character description? And finally, can I magpie any successful elements to inform my writing? Remember, magpie means to borrow, take, use ideas that you've seen either in a book, maybe in a video, maybe someone told you about it, or you read it. So magpieing is very important in every subject, really. So you just use ideas, information that you picked up from other places. So let's now start the lesson. Well, our character description is going to be about Spider-Man. So I'm going to read it, and we've got 2 paragraphs to cover. You can read it as I'm reading as well if you like. So let's look at the character description. Spider-Man is a compassionate and intelligent superhero, but not everybody knows he is the alias of Peter Parker. After following his uncle's advice, he decided to create his Spider-Man costume to protect his identity and use his powers to fight crimes. Selflessly, he chooses to use his abilities to protect the people of New York from crime and evil. One of his key superpowers is his super sense, because it warns him of impending enemies or danger. As quick as a flash, he can shoot sticky spiderwebs from his wrist in order to tie up criminals, swing from towering buildings, or use them as various tools. I'm sure, as I read that, and as you were looking at the text, you've already spotted some poetic techniques. And you've already spotted important things like punctuation, which control the speed or the pace that I read at. So keep those skills maintained. You will need them forever. As long as you're in education, you need all of those skills. Let's now look at paragraph 2. Can you remember most of this information? Well, we can always do a recap later. However, the webbing dissolves in an hour, so he has to act quickly and efficiently. He has a gifted mind, which means he is one of the smartest heroes around. Spider-Man's costume is a lightweight red and blue full bodysuit that provides protection. To many people's surprise, Spider-Man does not have a specific weakness, but if he is given ethanol chloride pesticide, it could dull his reflexes, speed and spider sense. Spider-Man has also faced and defeated a number of enemies over the years, with one of his most notorious enemies being the Green Goblin. I'm sure quite a few out there in Year 3 know about Spider-Man, so that's always a good thing. When you read a text, it is helpful if you have some background information about the text that you're reading. Now, that's important because it helps you to understand what's going on. And there are a lot of words in this text that some people may think, what does that word mean? I've got no idea what he's talking about. So let's have a look at our word of the day. In the first paragraph that we read, we came across the word compassionate. So in the text, it reads, Spider-Man is a compassionate and intelligent superhero. Now, what does compassionate mean? We've got some synonyms on the right-hand side. It means to be caring, understanding, empathetic. All very big words, empathetic. So caring and understanding, you'll understand quite easily. For those who want to get into more wow vocabulary, empathetic is a very, very good wow word. Okay, and at the bottom on the left-hand side, we have antonyms. These are the opposite to synonyms. So they're opposites. So the opposite to compassionate, indifferent, heartless, could be uncaring, would be a really simple antonym. Not caring or uncaring. Now, if we put that word in another sentence, it could be, the compassionate side of me hates to see good people turn bad. That's like saying the caring side of me hates to see good people turn bad. I'm sure you understand that phrase, because if you're going to do stories to do with superheroes, they generally have the good guys and the bad guys. And sometimes you discover that a bad guy in a story used to be a good guy. So this is what we're going to try and practice in most sessions. We look at the word in the text. We look at synonyms because you need to develop your vocabulary. And on top of that, developing the vocabulary, it's always useful to understand words that are opposite to the synonyms. And then finally, being able to use that same word in a different sentence is important because it shows that you understand the meaning of the word and in what context to use it. Let's move on. Well, what is factual retrieval? It's a skill that you've been practicing all last week and the week before. So if you retrieve something, it means to go and get it and bring it back, because it has in there a prefix re, so that's to bring it back. So first of all, it means you have to find and you've got to fetch the information. So you look in the text, you find it, and then you take it back, not necessarily in your hands, but in your head, in your brain. So we need to read the question, what information do you need to find? That's very important. You have to read the question and make sure that you understand the question, and therefore if you understand it, you'll retrieve the correct information, or you'll look for the correct information. We've talked about skimming and scanning to find keywords from the question. So when you're skimming, you have one word that you're searching for. For instance, spider. That would be a keyword. So rather than trying to look at every word in the text, you'd be skimming over the text looking for the word spider. And finally, you need to be able to copy the information exactly as it is written in the text. So factual retrieval means use the information written in the text. Okay, so this is something we're going to focus on during the week. They are skills that most of you already had, fortunately, but it's always important to know how to use that skill effectively. So, as you know, we have ways of how to answer questions. So, read the question twice. If you understand it completely at the beginning, fine. But if you're not quite sure, you may need to read it more than twice sometimes. And then don't forget the www. Who, what, where. Who is the character? What are they doing? Where are they? Or who are the other characters? What are they doing? And where are they in comparison to the other characters? And then the third point, make sure you're looking on the right page or section for the information that you're trying to retrieve. And then point number 4, we've talked about skimming and scanning. If you skim, you have 1 or 2 words or a phrase that you are searching for. You're not trying to look at every word. So you can move your eyes over the text quite quickly because you're only looking for a specific word or phrase. And scan means that you've got to do the whole page, the whole text, because you may be trying to get an understanding of the whole paragraph to start with. And then read around the information. Don't just look at that key word. The answer you may be seeking will be either before that key word or phrase or after the key word and phrase. So widen your search. And then write down your answer. If you've written your answer down, you still need to check it. Does it make sense? Does your answer actually have answer the question that's been given? Right, let's move on. So you look at the line beginning after following his uncle's advice. Why did Peter create his Spider-Man costume? Right, so on the right hand side here, I've got after following his uncle's advice, he decided to create his Spider-Man costume to protect his identity and use his powers to fight crimes. Right, down below you can see I've highlighted some very, very important information because it tells you where to look, and you have to find in the text after following his uncle's advice. So you need to search for that phrase. In the question, like last week, we talked about key words or phrases. So first of all, you got one of those W questions, why? And then in the question, it's Peter create his Spider-Man costume. So they are key parts of the question. So why Peter created his Spider-Man costume. I've added a D to create. So Spider-Man is definitely a key word. Peter's a key word that you could search for in the text to help you find the information you're looking for quickly. So you go to the text that's shown down below. You find create. There it is on the bottom right hand side, get the finger pointing to it, his Spider-Man costume, and then we have to read around it because we want to have the answer to this question to protect his identity. So that's coloured in green because we need to add that to answer the question. So why did Peter create his Spider-Man costume? Well, he's done it. Peter created a Spider-Man costume to protect his identity. Hopefully you know what that means, to protect his identity. Peter, when he's Spider-Man, is wearing a costume. People cannot see his face. So therefore, when he's out on a mission, no one knows what he really looks like if he wasn't in his costume. So those are things that are important that you understand. Let's move now to your reading comprehension. So here I've put the 2 paragraphs, and at the top on the right hand side is a table, and it's a true or false table. So you have to decide after reading the statement whether or not it's true or false, and you need to verify this by looking, scanning, skimming in the text. So, Peter selflessly protects the people of Washington, D.C. True or false? You need to search in the text. Think about your keyword. What is the keyword or key phrase in that statement? Number 2. Ethyl chloride pesticide killed dull Spider-Man's reflexes. Is that true or false? So you need to search in the text. I won't tell you what the keywords are in there because they should be obvious to you. And the third one, Spider-Man's most famous enemy is the Green Goblin. Is that true or false? Now some people have a habit of just guessing So let me first warn you, it's not a guessing game. You have to verify this. That means look in the text. Look for the information. You need the information in the text to support your response or answer. So you need to go to the text, check. Okay, don't just do it from memory. Some people have very good memories after reading the text because they understand it. Other people need to check. So you need to go to the text and retrieve the information that you need. Let's move on to the next stage. So you can press the pause button if you like. I'm not going to wait. So we've got the 2 paragraphs here on the left-hand side. Question 1, what is Spider-Man's real name? Question 2, list 2 things that sticky spider webs are used for. Once again, think about the key words or phrase to help you locate the information in the text. These are very, very important skills. It may seem simple, but you do need to master these skills before you go to year 4. Number 3, which of the following is one of Spider-Man's key superpowers? Once again, look in the text, scan, skim to confirm your answer. Okay, so you've got spider sense, spider sight, spider grip, spider smell. Avoid the guessing, check in the text. Number 4, it's a true or false table again. So the webbing dissolves in half an hour, true or false. Spider-Man has to act quickly and efficiently, true or false. Spider-Man is one of the bravest heroes around, true or false. Now, make sure that you are using the text. That's why it's called factual retrieval. Which 2 things describe Spider-Man's costume? Lightweight, armored, red, thick, black. Use the text to confirm the answers that you select. I'm going to move on because you can always press the pause button and do the task at your own pace. So it's fairly straightforward, hopefully. There's only 2 paragraphs. So remember, no guessing. This is all about using your factual retrieval skills. So refer to the text, skim and scan, work so that you are aiming for accuracy, getting things correct. Okay, we do appreciate you emailing your work, so yr3@grange.harrow.sch.uk. Thank you once again. Last week I could not get over how many people emailed work in. It was quite incredible. Great superpowers on your part to be able to focus and get your work in and make sure that your work is accurate and very well presented. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.